All right. Hello, everybody. Hope you're having a good Wednesday. I today we are going to be making the Narcissus shuttle from the 1979 uh, film Alien, and it's not in the film a lot, but it's just a really cool ship design. It's pretty simple forms, but I just really love it. It's really iconic, and just thought it'd be really fun to make today. Um, and it's going to be some pretty simple sub D and just moving some polygons around. Really, as you can see here, I've already kind of sketched out the wireframe for it just to get a little bit of a head start. But yeah, I just want to thank everybody for joining. And yeah, feel free, as always, to ask any questions during the live. I'm going to make sure I have my screen up here so I can see anybody that might be asking any questions. But yeah, let's just get right into it. So as you can see, I've already started sketching out the wireframe. So really, I mean, what I want to do, honestly, is just go right into sub D, I think, from here. But what we should do first is create another layer and call it reference, because I need to bring some reference in. And I've already prepared some reference for this, so we can go ahead and just bring in some of these images here. Probably don't need all of these, but so this will just help us understand like where the details are going. Some of the details at the bottom. Probably get rid of that. This is a nice detail in the back. But yeah, this is actually what the ship looks like. It's pretty cool. Just gonna delete that. We don't really need that. And we don't really need these either. This is kind of maybe more inspiration image here, but yeah, just as you can see here, I mean, it's just pretty simple forms, very triangular, very polygonal, and we're just going to replicate this. We might not be able to get to every little tiny detail here, but we're going to get the essence of it. That's what I'm going for. And then maybe we get some cool shadows, maybe put it in a little bit of a environment. We'll see where we get. But yeah, feel free to ask me questions, and always happy to answer any workflow questions. If you guys are having issues, reach out to support@gravitysketch.com, and they'll help you resolve your issue if you're having some problems with the actual app itself. So yeah, and also let me know if my audio is echoing at all. I sometimes have seen the videos when I watch them back that the audio is echoing, and I think I know what the issue is. But yeah, just let me know if that's happening, and we'll get that resolved. Yeah, so here we are. This is the Narcissus, and if you're just now joining, it is sort of a shuttle, escape shuttle, in the movie Alien in 1979, and Ripley is basically inside the ship. I can't remember exactly what happens in the sequence, but it's just really cool design. So let's just get started here. So we're gonna make another layer. We're gonna call it surface. And if I was getting really detailed, I probably would break up some of these components, like these rear engines here probably might be on a separate piece, or just really looking at how this could be broken up. Like this panel could be its own piece, especially if we were 3D printing. We could actually make this whole piece separate. That way, when it's actually printed, this is just flat, and then this piece is printed separately. You know, maybe there's a better angle on the build plate that could be, you know, get a lot more detail. And then we would just glue that right onto our model if we were 3D printing this, of course. Which actually would be a really cool workflow video. I think we want to do some 3D printing examples in the future for Gravity Sketch. So like basically taking a Gravity Sketch model all the way to like a 3D print. And also like what it means to prepare your model for printing, which is actually pretty simple. I mean, really, in order to prepare your model for printing, essentially just the mesh needs to be closed. And what that means is if I just take one of these surfaces here and I draw out a surface. So say this is my surface. I'm just going to change the color so it's a little more neutral. So we have this surface here. Right now we can't print this because even though, you know, we're seeing it in 3D and everything, it doesn't really have a real thickness to it. It's thicknessless, if you will. And so what this needs to have, and actually a perfect way to show this is this tool here. So this is our normals tool. And what this does is this will reverse the normals of your surfaces. And so we can see here is when we grab the normals tool, actually I'll bend this surface so you can really see it really well. If we grab the normals tool, you can see that on this side we're seeing the surface, and on the underside we're seeing right through it. The underside that is transparent, that is the quote-unquote inside of the surface. And so when you export this to Blender or to you know, any sort of software, it's going to only show you this surface, and you actually won't see the inside because it doesn't have it. It doesn't have the outside is only on this side of the surface. I think in the export settings you can actually choose to export, let's see, welded or double-sided. So it might actually, I think it actually will export, so it will render both sides even though there's no thickness, but it still would not be printable. So what I want to get to is, in order to make this printable, what we would need to do is something like this, where you give a little bit of an edge, like that. Now this is like an exaggerated example, like that. And then we would want to continue these surfaces across. So we would connect them here. And then again here. There. Now we got these ends, we just need to close them up. Oops. Connect them there. And then connect it there. And yeah, so essentially what you're probably already getting the idea now, is that it needs to be a closed surface that has like a hollow inside. That is what will make it printable. So every surface would need to be like this. Now a lot of people have asked, you know, because essentially what we just did is we gave this surface that we made, we gave it thickness. A lot of people have asked, can we have an operation in Gravity Sketch where we just automatically add thickness? And the answer is we would love to do that. And the product team is definitely looking into how we can do that. There's a lot of features and things we want to implement in Gravity Sketch as well. So, but that's definitely on the list for sure. And so stay tuned for any updates. But yeah. We can just add a little more edge loops to kind of refine the shape a little bit. And so this this surface here you could definitely print. You could send this to a printer and it will print it. So I hope that makes sense to everyone. Hey, Zebo, thank you for joining. It says, seems like a steep learning curve. Well, definitely check out our videos. We have a lot of training videos that we've put on our YouTube channel, and they cover lots of different workflows, specific tools to use. I definitely recommend checking out the workflow videos because it just really shows you how you can approach different kinds of things inside Gravity Sketch. You can also check out the community workflows as well. I think it's called community workflows, where a lot of people in the Gravity Sketch community have shown how they make their stuff as well. The workflows videos are good. Tools videos are good. They're really better at showing you how to use certain things inside Gravity Sketch. But the workflows are going to show you how to approach something. Also, go back into our live videos playlist as well and check out these live sessions, which is what really the purpose of these is basically an extended workflow session, but also it gives the community a chance to ask direct questions to us Gravity Sketch, and also give feedback. I mean, any of it. So yeah, definitely go watch our training content. And if you're not already, follow us on Instagram. There's lots of inspirational stuff on there as well. People are doing some great stuff. But without further ado, let's get to building a surface. So I'm actually going to start with just some primitives here. And we're going to start with cube. And we're going to convert it to sub D. And I'm thinking, yeah, we'll just make the whole body one big piece. I think that would be good. I think that will work. And we'll have to probably flatten that out at some point. But yeah, we'll just start with the overall shape here. We don't have to be too precise. And then just delete that. Edge loop select. Extrude once more. Bring that up. Bring that down. And just continue these surfaces back. And that's about the basic shape, really. Now obviously this needs to be a little more refined. But we've already blocked out the basic shape of the ship. Now we have a few more angles that aren't represented here. So we're just going to subdivide and then kind of flatten it out. Let's see. Oh yeah, I'm just going to move those up there. Also, I think I should make it just a little transparent so I can see sketches underneath. It's another good technique. Just make your surfaces transparent if you want to see your sketches. So, and actually we'll move this back because this is kind of important surface change here. Move these here. Actually, I don't think we need that yet. Cool. And then just going to take I think what we're going to do is delete these faces and then do the edge loop and extend it out. There we are. Cool beans. And then what we can do is just delete this surface here and this one here. Look how we have it there. It looks like actually what's going on there is that's a triangle, not a square. There we go. Triangle. And we're going to turn on collapse polygons. And there we go, our triangle. Now let's see what this is looking like. And so if we turn off our sketch, this is where we're at. And we can, of course, I'm going to also grab grab this one. Actually, let's see. This might be a little more descriptive. Yeah, so I'm going to just finish up the surface here. Continue it here, extrude down, and then back. And then what we have here are just some triangles. And that will be easy, we just connect, make sure we have collapsed polygons, and then we do the same deal this side. Connect the dots. Connect the dots. Here we go. Yeah, and then so it looks like this whole part is flat. Like it's pretty flat, right? Right here. Maybe we can widen this just a little bit. Just a little bit. There's that, and then and then there's one more level of let's see, cut there. we'll see how that works. And then we just need to maybe raise that a little bit. Cool. And then this top piece, I'm going to make it a separate piece. Just close this up for now. Let's see, let's also make sure that this is, let's get our orthographic viewport out. Turn off our ref. And just kind of make sure that everything here is kind of straight the way we need it to be. Oops, there we go. Yeah, cool. So I think probably we should just pretty early on here just block in the windows. I think that's going to really matter later. So just going to hide that a little bit, and then we're going to put in an edge loop. Oops. Go to edit mode and put an edge loop in for that. So we got a little bit of a never mind. Put the edge loop. I thought I was going to do it because I thought there was a triangle in there or something. So we're just going to that's good. That's good. Make sure these are lining up. Cool. Okay. So we can just delete these faces. And then I want to cut wondering if I should just do an edge loop there. Probably would be better. Nope. That's not what I want. Here we are. And then we're just going to shift that over to where it needs to be so we can cut out that little window cut. Oh. I guess we don't have that cut there. There we go. And then what we'll simply do is just do a little loop select and then do a simple extrusion down just to indicate that's where our windows are. Hide the sketch a little more, bring out the model, and make sure things are looking the way they're supposed to look. Okay. Looking all right. Next, we're just going to block in just looking at here if I'm missing anything. Looks good. Next, we're just going to try and block in this top piece here. So, looks like it's extrudes up. Again, I'm just going to start with a cube. And I'm going to convert to sub D. Connect those pieces together. That down. Make sure everything's lining up good. That down, and then delete these faces. Extrude out. Then I'm going to a little bit of a round piece there, collapse just collapse all of our points there. Let's do the same thing in the bottom. Triangle, triangle. The collapse function is really useful. Very nice. And then we're just going to, again, see, it's very, very simple shapes we're working with here. Convert to sub D. Extrude outward. And then I'm actually going to subdivide that. And we're going to extrude this face all the way down here. Looking at our reference, see what's going on. Very good. That's where we want it. Bring that down. It's really starting to look like it. Let me just check the comments to make sure I'm not missing any questions. Let's see here. I hope this is all making sense too. So, is there a way to scale a group of objects in the same way that imported objects are scaled with the gizmo? Not really. So what you can do though is you can say, let's see, I'll try this. So what you can do is grab this object, place it in here, call it Narcissus 2, I guess. So we've saved, so this is actually our gravity sketch model. If we click that and then drop it here at preview import, it'll come in at the exact same scale. Let's see. And then, yeah, I guess there is no option to change the scale of it coming in. So for right now, no. The best way to scale something is to just grab it like this with your controllers aligned. And it'll scale. Without rotating, but there are more versions of precision, levels of precision we would like to implement. I think we're just listening to the community as to what is the most useful and helpful. So continue giving us feedback on levels of precision that you all want to see in Gravity Sketch. And but I think more precision and scaling and moving things is definitely something we want to shoot for sure. Let's see. I know there's some other comments for sure on here as well. So let's see. How many hours? So No Name says, how many hours do you think it took to become proficient in Gravity Sketch? Yeah, to be honest, I would say a good 8 hours of Gravity Sketch. You're probably pretty well versed in using all the tools after about 8 hours of just like working in it, making some things. And if you're watching workflow videos, like following along. We just put out a video yesterday on how to watch the in-app videos, which can be found here. And it's in the Learn section here. And this will take you through how to make a pair of headphones in Gravity Sketch. And you can click this and it'll bring up a video and then it'll just start playing. Right now my headset speaker is turned off, so I can't hear it. But you can follow along these videos literally right inside of Gravity Sketch. You've also got these skills videos, which is just using specific tools. And then workflow videos, you have a few of those. And then, of course, you can import videos as well. So following along with that, literally the creation tools are just these tools right here. And they're very straightforward. We've got ink, stroke, revolve, surface, volume, primitive shapes, and then this is a viewpoints feature where we can actually save viewpoints, like viewing angles in the model. But these are all of your 3D creation tools. And as you can see, it's not very many, but you can do a lot with them. When you click on one, it actually brings up a menu here, and you can change all these aspects of the stroke. As I click through, it'll change the menu depending on which tool I'm looking at. So this is our revolve tool menu or surface menu. But it's pretty straightforward stuff. And I would say if you spend a good 8 hours while following along some videos, you'll be surprised at how quickly you can start making some things in Gravity Sketch. It's quite fast. And also the intuitiveness of being in VR. You already find yourself wanting to do things, and it's just very natural. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. Can Gravity Sketch be uploaded into Tilt Brush or Quill? Yeah, if they bring in, if they import OBJs or FBX or you can bring them in, which I believe they do allow you to import OBJs. As far as being able to edit them, like you can edit them here in Gravity Sketch, I don't think you can do that in those programs, but I haven't actually tested it out yet. So, but it's been a while since I've used them, so maybe you can now. But yeah, you can import 3D models. So let's just keep going along here. I think probably next we should block out these engines, and we're gonna do. They're fairly vertically symmetric, so we're just gonna start with a cube again, because everything on here is basically a cube. And we are just going to, and they're asymmetrical, so we can't really start with a symmetrical form. Just going to position it roughly where it's supposed to be. There we go. And it comes out to a nice square here at the end. I'm just going to shrink that. And then I want to delete that face, loop, extrude inward. So we've got that shape there. And you can tell that we're definitely making a low poly version of this. Moving that down. I think later we might actually like do a subdivide these and make it a little smoother, and see what it looks like then. But what we can do now is we can duplicate this, just raise it up just a little bit, and then I'm going to take the rotate tool, which is a new feature we have here. Not the rotate tool, but this snap feature. If we press snap button, we can now snap our model in 15-degree increments. So now we can vertically mirror it, essentially. Just gonna bring these parts up. Bring these back. Do another edge loop here. I think it needs one. So it's not all aligned, but there we go. Wasn't quite a copy and paste, I guess. Looking at the forms here, they're not exactly the same. And there we go. So we have our forms, we have our shape. Any other major details? So we do have this technically is inset. So what we can do is take this, shrink it, just like that. The same thing here. One's the bottom, inset, and just shrink it a little bit. There we go. Yeah, so like moving on to some of the other major details, we've got these cool shapes here at the bottom. So I think for that, I'm just going to start with a normal sub D surface and start really simple. There we go. Yeah, just fan that out. Continue it off the back. And then we can just connect them across. And then we'll just have a little collapsed polygons here because we'll have a triangle here at the end. And then this whole shape needs to come down more. And I think it's probably more flat here. And so we're just refining as we go along, making the shapes that we need to make. But it looks like it's really coming together here. So other details, other kind of major things. We have these little wing-tipped things on the end. Let's just see what those look like. I'm trying to see if I can get a good look at them. Well, first, we've got this detail here. Okay. So that, we need to do another cube then, looks like. Convert to sub D. Back just a little bit. And then it looks like we have this piece that sits on the end. It looks like, I'm trying to get a sense of it. Maybe it's represented here. I'll go with that. Then I think the it looked like it was kind of like a C shape profile. So we'll just, I think probably would be good to start with this piece again, just duplicate it. And then delete these faces. And then just reconnect the dots. Fill in those holes. There we go. Something like that. Looks like it's some sort of like rail or something for the ship to actually hold on to the shuttle when it's docked. That's what it looks like. And then let's go ahead and finish up those windows. So I'm going to actually make some simple shapes here. Actually, probably really what we could do is just use a stroke tool and use just like a cube shape. And that makes it really simple. Let me do the same thing again. A slightly larger piece here. I think for that, actually, I should probably use a sub D cube for that centerpiece. Very nice. That's weird, it's kind of skewed. Okay, let's try that again. I don't know why the mirror was really kind of weird on that piece there. But you know, anyway, there we go. And then really the rest of this is just detail. Why don't we go ahead and just fill in this cockpit just so it doesn't look like it's hollow. Started this way. Okay, there we go. Just connect it in the middle. Make it simple. And then we'll just extrude this floor out. If I had more time, I would definitely do sort of a basic interior as well. But we don't really have time for something like that. There we go. Now we're casting little shadows, you know, from our windows there. We can see inside. Let's just add a few details and get things going. So we'll try and use the stroke tool as much as possible. Maybe we got a hatch there. Just kind of looking at some major areas that we could still block in. I guess we don't have our cylinders. Put those in and convert to sub D. Grab the whole edge loop here. Extrude it back. Here we go. And then just move it back. Let's just try to get a few more details. So we can get our stroke tool. These are more, I guess, interpretive strokes to sort of fill in the details. So we've got a rear image here. Yeah, this is what we want. So it's kind of more of a tubular structure. So we can just go back to our stroke, change it back to sphere, and we can get that detail. There. There we go. And another here. And then let's go back to our primitives because we got a couple of cylinders there. Put those in. You know, we've got a lot of details, so we can then, let's see, let's go to the back here. We'll look at some of the back. I feel like we might be missing some things back here. All right. We didn't actually close this backside, so we need to definitely do that. But first of all, this seems to be needing to be a little bit thinner, so we'll go ahead and do that. And we'll thin that out. And then adjust these strokes. There we go. Then what we can do is add another edge loop here. Edge loop. Probably have to use the knife tool for this one. So we'll cut it right about there. Use the knife tool again. And then we'll make just a simple extrusion. extrude, fill it in. Connect all the dots. We're going to have our collapse polygons on. Collapse those polygons. Let's see, we have an extra edge loop here. Maybe we don't need that one. Yeah, maybe we do actually. We'll just cut another edge loop here in the bottom. Great. Now we can close it up. Very good. Looking very good. Now just a cool quick thing we can do. Looks like this actually tapers here, like this, and then comes back up again. Into, oh, okay. Interesting. Gotcha. So yeah, that comes back up into there. Like that. Very interesting. Okay. Looks like we've got another piece back here. So we'll get the primitive cube. Delete that face. There we go. And then we can get some of this, these details going here. Let me go back to my stroke tool. Cube, end caps are off. And then I'm going to try and repeat that across. Definitely just eyeballing this. And then maybe we can group these together. Duplicate along the sides here. And then again along the bottom. Again on the other side. And then probably what we can do is try to see how I can just select those two. I'll just do it manually. So we'll add those to the bottom. There. There. And here. You all can tell this is definitely not a perfect model, but it's just to convey the concept. And then other big details. Let's maybe look at the front again. See where we can maybe add just cylinders of any kind. Looks like down here we could add some. And I think right up here somewhere. Just looking for more details, opportunities. Why don't we just focus on this area here? Go back to my stroke, make it round again. Just try and recreate some of this detail. There we are. And then continue this along that path. Sort of simplifying what I see here. Trying just to get the basic idea. And we could spend many hours just putting details down just like that. Let's see. Oh, good. And I think we might just call it on this, just right here. So we can change maybe like how bright this is. Let's turn off the reference. And let's just get a look at this thing. I'm going to change the lighting angle here. Get different lighting angles. Let's maybe put the stage floor on here. And then move this thing up. We can also change our lighting, see if we can get some interesting different looks here. Very cool. Well, I hope you all learned something. This is just like really good old-fashioned sub-D modeling, just quick, just, you know, shapes, polygon shapes, and primitives. But I'm just going to do a little turntable here. Just some simple stroke tools, some polygons, and yeah, just some really basic shapes. Following a sketch outline. Let me check out your comments. Let's see. Yeah, sure, I can step inside. So I'm going to ask if I can step inside real quick. here we are inside of it. Now, if I had more time, I would really flesh out this interior. So that's the cool thing about Gravity Sketch and VR is, you can build out a ship like this and then, get more focused on the details here, go inside the cockpit and really start fleshing out like, where all the control panels are going to go and just like all kinds of fun, crazy stuff like that. Um, and, bring people in, get into scale so we could like take human. Let's get Ripley. Um, and I think the scale is like something like that. I actually didn't really check what the scale was for the ship, but nonetheless, you get your human. It sits there like that. And I think that's about the scale. But, and then immediately you've got some scale here, and then, okay, like grab another person, bring them out here, kind of straighten them out. Standing a little weird there, but I think you all understand what I'm saying here. You can just get a sense of scale with your human. And there you got like a convincing design that you can submit to your manager, your director. Obviously we can continue on with all these details like I was with this piping and everything, but for the sake of time, just trying to keep it simple. Just want to thank everybody for watching. I hope you learned something. We're actually going to be doing these live demos twice a week now, so we can reach more people and just answer questions and have people just that can't tune in live on Wednesdays. Maybe they can join on Tuesdays, so we'll be doing them on Tuesdays as well, starting next week. And it'll be a slightly earlier time, like 10 a.m. Central Time. And so feel free to tune in. If you can't make any of these live demo sessions, that's totally fine. You can watch these after they're done. Just find our live sketch playlists and go and watch everything there. And we cover a lot of different things. We've made bikes and vehicles, ships, also just smaller products. So there's lots of workflow content there as well. And then of course, check out our workflow content. If you haven't heard, Gravity Sketch is now completely free. And it's free on all the platforms, on Steam and on Oculus Store. So go and just download it and start using it. And some people have been asking, is it temporary? Is it whatever? It's free forever. So it's not a temporary sale or anything. We are free 100%. The core version of Gravity Sketch is free, I repeat. And so go and download it if you haven't. Try it out. We're currently working on an iPad app as well. And we are going to be releasing that sometime this year. We haven't really come out with a release date yet, but it's in beta, and we have beta testers, and so we'll be releasing more details about the iPad app soon. But the app will be connecting with Landing Pad and with Gravity Sketch VR. So the cool thing is you can make something in VR, like what we've done here, save it to Landing Pad, and then you can download that right off Landing Pad in the iPad app and be able to continue working on iPad, or vice versa. You can do some crazy sketches, some 3D sketches in your iPad while you're on the go, save it to your Landing Pad account, and then bring them in here in VR in your headset and continue working in 3D. So it's all a connected ecosystem that will just allow you to create and be creative on the go using multiple devices, whatever suits your workflow, what suits your style, your needs. So definitely be on the lookout for updates on the iPad app as well. But again, just thank you everybody for joining, and I hope you learned something. Have a great rest of your Wednesday, and we will see you next week. Thank you very much.